How you doing? It was the most startling of warnings, but you didn't hear it on the MSM. If the U.S. does not get its finances in order, we will have a European situation on our hands, and possibly worse, said Paul Ryan, the new Republican chairman of the House Budget Committee. And according to Timmy F. Geithner, the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, the U.S. government is insolvent. Unquote. Period. Broke. But you didn't hear that on the MSM either. Geithner sent a letter to Congress on January 6th asking for the debt limit to be raised. If it is not raised, he warned, the U.S. will default on its debt. In his words, never in our history has Congress failed to increase the debt limit when necessary. Failure to raise the limit would precipitate a default by the United States. He didn't say that the government will be inconvenienced. He didn't say that the government would be forced to muddle through by delaying payments, raising taxes, and cutting non-obligatory programs and services. He said the government will default. This means that the government doesn't have enough cash to pay its obligations. Suppose you had a debt of $1,000. Your creditor demands a payment of $100 towards your loan. You don't have the $100, so you go to another creditor and the $100 for a payment to your first creditor. This would eventually lead you to bankruptcy, or insolvency as it is called. This is the boat the U.S. government now finds itself in. They won't default on bonds because that would mean an immediate, all-at-once drastic shrinking of the government. Can't carry on illegal wars with no money now, can you? Can't continue to bail out the banksters with no money, so the government issues more debt, like they have always done. Now we are roughly at $14 trillion in debt. A neat stack of $1 trillion $1 bills would be 67,866 miles high. Imagine 14 times that if you can. I can't. Never has our country been this far in unbelievable debt in its history. The state governments are no better off. California itself is close to bankruptcy, among other states. The money ain't coming from Uncle Sam, folks. Federal Reserve has committed itself to buying $600 billion of new government debt in the next few months. So this raising the debt ceiling over and over again is simply one huge Ponzi scheme. I'm sure Madoff is laughing in prison knowing what's coming outside the prison walls. When it comes to debt and money, the Fed has more power than our government itself. They can continue to print money and buy debt as they see fit. As I said, outright default on U.S. bonds is not in the cards because that immobilizes the entire U.S. government. The government won't do that. It will look after itself and its own survival first. The American public comes last, folks. Hope you're not surprised. Default upon promises made to Americans is the much more likely course of action. Ending Medicare and Medicaid, school lunch programs, Social Security, etc. Yeah, we need a single-payer health care system, but where is that money going to come from? And it's not only high interest rates the government will be paying for its continued loans, it's also higher default insurance premiums as lending countries demand more insurance against the U.S. going belly up, a not so far-fetched idea these days, you think? Meanwhile, the city of Camden, New Jersey, one of the highest crime cities in the nation, just laid off half of its police force and a lot of firefighters. They're broke. Some Camden residents said they were afraid that this may affect their safety. You think? So when, if ever, will Congress start to act in size, that is, with cutbacks large enough to avoid defaulting on its bonds? It won't until it's forced to, and I believe it's coming, folks. Some analysts are predicting runaway inflation beginning this year, $10 to $20 for a gallon of gas, oil, or propane, $10 for a loaf of bread, $15 for a pound of sugar. Not in the good old USA, you say? I guess we'll see. But hey, the stock market is booming. The MSM says the economy is improving. Not to worry. You know, I used to laugh at the people telling me to stock up on water and food and fuel. Well, you know what? I'm not laughing anymore. Lordy, 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 lordy. Honker 1304, Angelina Tiger, how you doing? Honk for you, Joe, you're the best, and thanks for continuing your bids. Thank you. Honk request 1305. 2 Minstrel. Here's looking at a huge earth-shattering munitions explosion in the Israeli Knesset when the Zionists are all sitting. Hey, how about a honk for that? Okay. Honk request 1306. Metal Memory. Can I get a honk for cockadactyls? Yes, and they don't sell. Honk request 1307. Orwell's Daughter. I'd like another honk or two just for you when you get a chance. Well, I got a chance. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Honk request 1308. Jason 34207. How about a honk for the men killed and wounded aboard the USS Liberty, which was unprovokingly attacked by Israeli fighter jets and torpedo boats, even after they knew it was an American ship? With allies like that, who needs enemies? Yes, indeed. Honk request 1309. WVMISKAVW. Hey, Joe, how about a honk for the 1,293 loyal subscribers who have stuck with you, even though the 6,000 that you lost jumped ship? Worry not about those disloyal subs. They need you more than you need them. Well, I don't know about all that, but thank you for the thought. And there you have it in a nuts shell. Bye-bye. So long. See you now. Watch your head. Be all you can be. Be aware.
When the sun goes down and burns the tar up on the roof, and your shoes get so hot you wish your tired feet were fireproof.